Why is rent still high when everyone's whispering about a housing oversupply by 2026? Because affordability, not just inventory, is the boss. Mortgage rates are still elevated, incomes haven't caught up, and the homes we're adding aren't the ones you need. Stick with me. I'll unpack the 4 drivers pushing prices sideways to down in some pockets while keeping your entry-level dreams on hold. We'll map where multifamily and adaptive reuse keep growing, and where single-family stays stuck. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. So how do listings climb? Cranes crowd the skyline, and your rent still hits like a luxury car payment. Here's the thing. The market can be full and still be useless to you. It's real. It's happening. And it's not a glitch. It's the way the incentives are wired right now. Inventory is up in a bunch of metros, but not the inventory that fixes your life. Rates are still high enough to turn a starter home into a monthly flex you didn't ask for. Prices haven't cracked where first-time buyers actually look, so the math gets worse even when the headline says more homes. You get a bigger menu with the same unpayable specials. The mismatch is the killer. We're stacking supply in the pricey lanes. Bigger single-family, luxe townhomes, Class A apartment towers with rooftop dog spas, while entry-level houses and high-density units near jobs are a ghost story. It's like walking into a grocery store overflowing with filet mignon while the chicken aisle is bare. Technically stocked, functionally useless for most budgets. And here's what nobody tells you. The people who own the homes you want to buy aren't moving. The mortgage rate lock-in is a real freeze. If you refinanced at 2.9%, you're not listing just to jump to a 6 handle or a 7. That means the smaller, older homes that usually trade down market never hit the shelf. So new buyers chase the same thin slice of options, and prices hold up where you shop, not where the skyline looks pretty. Look at the affordability math. The index sits below 100 in many markets, which means the median household can't afford the median home. And payments are up double digits versus 2019, before the rate rocket took off. When rates tick down a quarter point, everyone who's been lurking wakes up at once. Demand floods in. The limited entry-tier inventory gets mobbed, and the tiny discount you thought you'd grab evaporates in a weekend. Meanwhile, the oversupply you keep hearing about? It's showing up where the monthly payment already hurts. Sunbelt submarkets are leasing shiny Class A buildings with free months and gift cards, while the older Class B and C stock stays 95% full and stubborn on rent. Landlords will give you a Peloton to sign the lease on the high-rise, but the no-frills garden apartment near the warehouse district won't budge $50 because every delivery driver and barista is still hunting the same unit. So no, construction isn't failing. It's just building for a different spreadsheet. The product that gets funded is the product that underwrites. Higher rents per door, bigger margins per lot, amenities that juice the pro forma. If you're waiting on a wave of simple, small, near-transit units, you're waiting on math to change, not motivation. That's why the headlines feel disconnected from your wallet. The market isn't oversupplied in any way that helps you. It's oversupplied in the wrong SKU. There's slack where you don't shop and a brawl where you do. Let that sink in. You're seeing cranes and thinking relief. But the pipeline tilts toward assets that serve either premium renters or yield-chasing investors, and the entry lane gets starved. Even when a handful of lower rate prints show up, they act like a signal flare and pull more buyers into the same cul-de-sacs. The result is crowding, not clearance. So the vibe isn't crash, it's misalignment. A plenty for some economy with scarcity baked into the starter tier. And if you thought the answer was just build more, you're not ready for what's next, because the kind of more we're building keeps missing your monthly budget by a country mile. So why do builders keep pumping out the stuff you can't afford? Follow the money. If demand is screaming for starter homes, why do the cranes keep spelling out multifamily across your skyline? Here's the catch. Capital flows to whatever pencils cleanly at today's rates, and starter homes don't. Sounds backwards, but it tracks once you stare at the underwriting. Let's break it down. 4 drivers push money away from entry-level single-family and toward denser, pricier, or just easier to finance plays. This isn't vibes, It's math, codes, labor, and buyer behavior pulling in opposite directions. Driver 1. Financing math. High interest rates jack up construction loan costs, and smaller homes can't absorb that pain. A 1,600 square foot starter has thin gross profit and a single exit. One buyer, one mortgage. If that falls through, the carry eats you alive. A 200-unit building spreads risk across doors and attracts institutional capital that likes predictability and scale. You can ladder leases, smooth vacancies, and refinance into agency debt. Banks say yes to that story a lot faster than to 30 scattered affordable homes in a suburb fighting every setback variance. Driver 2. Costs and codes. Land isn't cheap where jobs are, and the soft costs hit like hidden boss levels. Impact fees, utility hookups, plan checks, energy codes, stormwater rules, each one tiny by itself. Together, they nuke your margin. So builders push toward bigger margins per lot or more units per acre. Zoning locks huge chunks of land into low-density use, which means if you finally secure a parcel, you're incentivized to go upmarket just to survive the fee stack. Entry-level single-family gets squeezed between dirt prices and rule books that reward either luxury or density, but not modest anything. Driver 3. Policy and labor. Construction crews are short-handed, and that drives wages higher. Immigration slowdowns and an aging trades workforce thin the bench. Tariffs keep key materials from drifting back to pre-2020 pricing. Lumber calms down, then drywall, wiring, and HVAC pop off. The only reliable defense is scale. Large projects can negotiate bulk buys and stagger subs. A run of small, cheap houses? You pay retail on everything and wait longer for crews. Time costs money. Delay kills your pro forma. Driver 4, the demand barbell. Renters who can't buy still need a place, so multifamily absorption keeps chugging. At the other end, owners parked on sub-4% mortgages don't trade up, which flatlines the move-up chain that usually frees starter homes. The result is an entry-level need with no clean exit for builders. Multifamily keeps units moving. Single-family entry-level gets stuck in theory. Look where capital is actually going. Adaptive reuse is popping because the math sometimes beats dirt. Office to resi, hotel to apartments. If the structure's bones work, you skip months of entitlement roulette and tap incentives. Last year, conversions delivered over 25,000 multifamily units, more than 7% of the national total. Not flashy, but very real. Timelines matter. Credits matter. Starters can't match that package. Forecasts aren't shouting a turnaround either. Single-family starts finish 2025 down about 5% to roughly 909,000 and edge only 0.9% in 2026 to around 917,000. Meanwhile, multifamily stays elevated, with starts projected up 6% to about 640,000 in 2025 and another 5% to 670,000 in 2026. That spread tells you where lenders and developers still see traction. So here's the thing. Builders prioritize what underwrites today. Multifamily, adaptive reuse, and higher margin single family on the nicer lots. Your truly affordable starter keeps losing the bid because the costs stack higher than the sales price can carry.